Reportedly, many coronavirus patients are starting to get surprise bills if they end up in the hospital. That's because most large insurance companies waived deductibles and copays during the peak of the pandemic in 2020, but they're not doing it anymore. Let's dive into that now with Todd Furniss, who is here on Portland's Afternoon with us. Todd is the author of the new book, The 60% Solution, Rethinking Healthcare. Todd, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
So what is the reason that more and more insurance companies are no longer covering the full cost of COVID treatment?
Well, what's going on here is they've got essentially an unanticipated expense, and they're saying, hey, wait a minute, our expenses are going to be greater than our predicted loss ratios. Therefore, we have to have a way to cover that. So what they're likely to do is say, hey, some people have taken care of themselves, meaning they've gotten the vaccinations, and people who have not gotten the vaccinations have not taken care of themselves, and therefore we're going to make them pony up for the expense they're incurring because they didn't take care of themselves.
How much can a COVID-19 hospital stay cost for somebody if you're uninsured?
Well, what people don't realize is that every provider has at least 11 prices for every service offering they have. And what also people don't realize is that the prices can differ by up to 1,000% in the same geography, in the same network, with the same system. And so while it seems like a fairly straightforward question, that should be, and it will be given what happened with President Trump's issuance and signing of the Pricing Transparency Act that went into effect on January 1st of this year, but it should be safe to assume that it will be thousands of dollars per day.
This is Portland's Afternoon News. We're talking with healthcare expert and author Todd Furniss about a change in COVID insurance coverage, and that could cost you if you end up in the hospital. Todd, can we assume that insurance companies are still picking up the balance for the cost of the treatment for people who are insured once you've met your deductible?
Yes, but I think the other thing to note here is that insurance companies aren't allowed to simply turn on a dime and say, you know what, I'm deciding to change the rules tomorrow. They have to, depending upon the state that they're in, they usually have to go through a state Department of Insurance to say what is included or not included in the coverage that they're offering. But I think what people can expect is insurance companies are going to make a play that says if you have not been vaccinated, then we're going to charge you more.
So do you see federal lawmakers being pressured by voters to do something about maybe extending coverage waivers, or is the free ride over, period?
I see people trying to put pressure on lawmakers to solve the problem. I don't see, but here's what I always say. You know, who's got the stronger voice on Capitol Hill? It's going to be the guy, up in Boston or in New York City or in Philadelphia who's got the insurance company with an army of lobbyists. I think there's going to be pressure applied. I would not be confident in the outcome because I just don't think the odds are stacked in the consumer's favor.
Todd Furniss is author of the book, The 60% Solution, Rethinking Healthcare. Todd, hey, thanks for your time and expertise as always.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks so much for having me, Tim.